Good morning. I'm Sonia Johnson-Williams, Chair of the 41st National Assembly and Conference and Event Planning for the next Lakes Incorporated. Welcome. Thank you for coming out today. It's been about 8 weeks since we were last here, and I'm really pleased, and I want to thank you for all that we know that has been done in the past 8 weeks. This is where we say the rubber meets the road. And since we've been here, some of the members of our committee came in Thursday, some came in yesterday. What we see, what's been accomplished, and the work that we're done, I'm really excited about our 41st National Assembly. So thank you, and give yourselves a hand. Let's start our meeting with our Links pledging song, and we're going to ask your very own, our very own Link Alpha Blackburn from the Indianapolis chapter to please come up and lead us in pledging song.
Good morning, my little sisters. If you would join me. Stand for the pledge, and immediately following the pledge, we will sing the Link song. I do
solemnly pledge myself to all the ideals, purposes, and true meaning of the word friendship as embodied in the name Links. I shall earnestly endeavor to uphold these standards and do my share towards serving my community and my chapter to the best of my ability, and this I promise. We strive to do some good each year for those who need our aid. It binds us close and brings us joy, and so we feel repaid. We're each a link in friendship's chain and loyal to our creed of doing good through work and play. Together we'll succeed.
Thank you, Link Alpha. I am now going to ask my co-chair, Link Marcia Elam, to please lead us in inspiration.
Good morning.
Good morning.
One song can spark a moment. One flower wake the dream. One tree can start a forest. One truth can save a team. One smile begins a friendship. One hug lifts a soul. One star can guide a ship at sea. One word can frame the goal. One vote can change a nation. One sunbeam lights a room. One candle wipes out darkness. One laugh will conquer gloom. One step might start a journey. One word might start a prayer. One hope will raise our spirits. One touch can show you care. One voice can speak with wisdom. One heart can know what is true. One life can make a difference. One change begins with you. Thank you. Awesome.
Thank you, Link Marcia. Sister Link, this is effectively our last town hall as we lead into our assembly, right? And we've been coming out here since 2016. I think this is our 5th or 6th town hall meeting. And our fearless leader, as I call her, our 16th national president, Linda Newell Harris, has been leading us every step of the way. She's been right here with us. Her time, her energy, her heart. She's given us all that she has, and I thank her for that, and I know we all do. I know that when we come together in June, it will be one of our best assemblies ever, and it is largely in part, because of her efforts and all that she's done to lead us. And so with that being said, we're going to have remarks from our 16th National President, and I ask you to please join me in welcoming
Good morning, Link Sisters. Thank you, Link Sonia, for that very generous introduction. I'm so excited to be here in Indy today and to see so many of you here. And so you've heard from me every time I've been here. I'm not going to go through that story again. But let me just say that your team, your leaders, continue to be very fearless. Burks-Craig and Jenny Kane are two of the baddest sisters in this cluster. I just want to give them outstanding credit and kudos because Burks continues to be a genie. I continue to ask her for things and she continues to deliver on every single thing that we ask her to do with her wonderful dynamic partner, my sister in another organization, Jenny Kane. So I really, really want to thank the entire Indiana Iconic Cluster for all the work that you have done. And guess what? The work is really getting ready to kick in right now. So I'm excited about what we have planned. We don't have everything perfect. I'm just going to be the first to tell you. So if you see my furrows getting frowned and so forth, I am a detail person. I get all up in the details. I want to know the sauce on the salmon. But it's all because we want things to be healthy for you. We want things to be perfect for you as much as we can. We worry about where the scooters are going to be placed. We worry about whether there are going to be enough scooters. We want to make sure there are enough chairs in the room. We want to know how far one workshop is from another workshop. We want to make sure that the registration is seamless. We don't want any lines around people registering. We didn't have any last year, 2 years ago, and our numbers at that time were 3,200. So we don't expect any of that to happen this year. But you know, that kind of stuff just doesn't happen. You have to ask questions about it. You want to find out, is this room set up? Is the AV set up? Well, if there's an AV man, is the AV man in my room? Because if he's only in my room, then I want to know when I'm in there running a workshop, why isn't he there? We learned yesterday, you don't have an AV man in your room. We have an AV person that's running 3 rooms. So that's the kind of information that I want this team to know about so people don't panic when, I thought we were paying for some. We are, but he's running 3 rooms. And so we have technology here. I don't see Marcia here this morning, but we had technology here with us, and they are going to be stationed in different rooms. So we are really trying to do our best to anticipate all the needs of our members, dot I's, cross T's as much as we can, be considerate of the fact that we're located in 2 hotels, but we're all still inclusive and inside. You know, I'm going to tell you what we need. More money, more money, more money. So if anybody in here has some sponsorship opportunities, there is no contribution that is too small. We would love to have, we still have needs in the area of sponsorships. So if there's anyone in this room that has a name that they can go, and at this point, what we really need is for you to go say, hey, Michelle, you know, you got a budget. Girl, can you just give us $5,000? We're in a time crunch right now. We're not in a situation where we can court and take them to lunch. I'm just being frank with you. But some of us do know people. We have a sister that I call with Morgan Stanley, and we were hoping we'd be able to do something big with Morgan Stanley, and she said, Glenda, we can't. But she said, out of my budget, I'm gonna give you $10,000. That's the kind of thing that I'm looking for, that some of you have budgets, so you have friends that have budgets. That's what we need. We also need more individuals to register. So I understand that Indianapolis is within driving distance of a lot of cities and chapters. So I need you to contact your Link Sisters and ask them if they've registered. Tell them that we're going to have another fabulous assembly. Tell them we've got CC Wyman on Wednesday night. Tell them we've got Lenny Williams for the White Rose Banquet. Let them know we've got Michael Eric Dyson that's going to be bringing information, a wonderful speech to us on Wednesday. And we're still closing in on some additional names of individuals that we think will excite people. So we need you the other thing is that we've heard some rumors that some of our members are telling us that they never got the call to assembly. So if you talk to people, ask them if they got it. We're hearing that 15 and 20 members out of chapters are reporting they never received the call to assembly. So as you know, we've sent one, and then last weekend we sent another. So we don't know what the problem is. We don't know, and they're telling us that they're getting all the communications about, well, let me brag for a minute, Kamala Harris is our new Link sister. So for those of you that missed it, when you see her, as one Link sister saw her at Emily's list last week, she said, Glenda, I walked up to Kamala and said, oh, Senator, I'm your Link sister, and I missed the ceremony last week. She said Kamala's whole face just was like, oh, it was so wonderful, she said. So anyway, we need members to register, to come if they didn't get the notice, and the members that are saying they didn't get the notice are saying they got the notice about the Kamala induction. It's the same e-blast, the same information. So, and it's coming through the same place, I'm told, even though it's Eventbrite. So I don't know if it's going into their spam, but if they don't have it, as you're letting us know, forward it to them. Send yours over to them. Send them to the website, because we can't have people sharing with us that they can't make it happen because they can't figure out how to get into to register for it. So we need your support in that. Let us know if you're hearing any of that from anyone. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this back over to Sonia, and in all transparency, I have been invited to the Washington, D.C. chapter tonight for an event, and Sunday in Washington, D.C. for another event, so I may need to be, this is my swan song, my last time around, so I'm trying to make as many of the events as I can in my last 72 days. So, and who's counting? So thank you so much for all that you do, and I love you very much, because I know that coming out on a Saturday, time after time after time, has got to be a labor of love. So thank you for all that you do for the Links Incorporated, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
We are now going to hear from our 31st National Assembly Cluster Chair and Co-Chair, Lynn Jarnell, Burks-Craig, and Lee Jenny Kane.
Someone told me this morning I look tired. I know it's tired. I know we have a long way to go, and I guarantee you that we're going to get there. We're going to achieve the goals that we've set for ourselves. And we're going to achieve these goals because it has been a team effort. Could not have done it without you. Could not have done it without the other 4 presidents. And several of them are here. Fort Wayne, Davina is there. Northern Indiana, Deborah. Jan Jacobs, who is the president for South Bend, husband is very ill, so please add her to your prayer list. And Debbie Wilson is out of the city. She's in California doing her business. And so we do appreciate all the efforts that the presidents have provided for us to make sure that this is going to work. But Dr. Kane has said at the last town hall meeting that she had a gift for the National Assembly. And so she's here today to present that gift along with her board chair, Lynn Joyce Rogers. Come, Joyce. Madam President, you can come up too. It's for you.
I'm bonded. One of the greatness about being a part of this organization is that you have a lot of sisters across the chapters. And so we have a number of members of the Health and Hospital Corporation. I'm the health part of the Health and Hospital, and then we have the hospital side, which is Ashkenazi Health. And this young lady is the chairman of the board of a $1 billion operation. And I don't know how many people can say that. I think she may be the first in the history of Indiana. Been the chair of the board of a $1 billion operation. And so on behalf of our chapter members, I want to ask you, Joyce Rogers, who's our chair of the board, Crystal Hicks, Colette Duvall,
Renee Wyatt Foster, we'd like to give you this small token of our appreciation of $25,000. Should we show the check? So let's just say, you know, she's a financial genius, so we should just raise the money.
Let me just also add about George White while she's on the stage. She's also president of the Madam Walker building, and she has just been able to negotiate with the Lilly Endowment $15.3 million to renovate the
Thank you, and thank everybody. We just, we love Indiana, and we love our Indiana sisters.
So what we're going to do now is have the leads of the different committees come and just give us an overview in regards to the responsibilities of the local cluster. The airport committee, I don't see anyone here, but it is a goal. We've sent the logo, we've sent the theme to Connecting Link Jennifer and her husband Max Siegel. They will be putting their race car in the airport. I'm hoping that they will be there before 9 o'clock on Saturday to greet whoever that's going to be arriving early. We will be also giving out our little green apples at the lower level where you will be coming down to pick up your luggage. And we will also have a display, a freestanding display that will talk about the history and the 16 presidents of this fabulous organization. Next we have, and this young lady has been working hard in regards to making sure that this is the best community service project that we have had. I just wanted to lift up for you that this will be our 25th year in regards to the community service project. And those of us that are from Central, please know that it was started here in Central, here in Indianapolis, under the leadership of Joanne Nash Brown. So we are honored that we are able to do this project again in her honor. So Dr. Lauren Porters-Dungy, will you please come up? Uh-oh, Wesley will be mad with me. Don't tell him. Lauren Dungy Porters is the chair and has done an outstanding job in pulling it together.
Good morning, ladies. How are you?
Good morning.
Just wanted to give you a little bit of an update. We have our venue. It's going to be at Riverside Park. The date is June 26th from 10 to 2. The event will start off with a welcome event where remarks will be made and dignitaries will be honored. And we will also acknowledge all the wonderful vendors who have volunteered to provide services and information for the community at the event. We have about 15 to 20 vendors who have either committed or semi-committed to being involved with the event. We're still getting more incoming names. Some of the highlights will certainly be the Colgate Dental Band, also the Safe Sleep cribs that we're going to give away. We have 100 that were donated by the Indiana State Department of Health. And there will be word books with that. There'll be Spanish-speaking word books as well, and just an entertaining site to learn about safe sleep for babies. We have a fall hazard corner for fall prevention for the elderly. There will be an automotive safety program. Free booster seats will be given away for people who show up with a child in a car. They'll put it in the car for both the cribs and the car seats. If we exceed the number of people who come to want those things, there will be overflow sites where we can direct them in the community where they can can go get that. I should also say that the State Department of Health is committed to donating to all the other Indianapolis chapter sites for the same services, and Dr. Kane is committed to having a demo van go out there. So we hope to replicate this whole effort in every chapter in Indiana. There's going to be, the Black Firefighters Association has been awesome with this. They're going to have a fire truck there. They're going to give away fire hats. They're trying to get a face painter. But the key thing about the fire trucks is that they also sit in booster seats. So it's an encouragement when they hand out those hats to say, we sit in these booster seats. You young people who think you're too old for a car seat and too young for a seatbelt, you also need to be in those booster seats. There's going to be a lot of things, mental health screening, information about insurance and Medicaid access, and the police department is committed to bringing the safety robot, Sam the safety robot. I don't know exactly what that is. I'm looking forward to that. We will have a DJ there with music, and a lot of the vendors are bringing door prizes. So we hope it'll be a nice event. Thank you.
And all of the local cluster will be wearing the white shirt. It will have the Indiana cluster on the front, and the logo will be on the back. Now, once we finish the community service project, we will be leaving there, going to the canal to turn it green. The mayor promised to meet me there. So I want you to know that I have already ordered your shirts. We will be distributing the shirts to the chapters for you to distribute to your members. And so I think it looks I wanted to do this after the Memorial We Walk, but I really think that this is a gift to the community, and this really is a better scene than the dressing. So this will be the picture that you will see on the recorder on Thursday that we will have available to all attendees at the first plenary session. I see that I have the AeroLinks chair here. Oh, Jessica's working hard. Not only is Jessica the chair of the AeroLinks, but she's also the editor of the newsletter that you all receive. So let us welcome Jessica.
We are just about complete with everything that we have set for AirLinks. What I would request and ask of each of you is that if you do have some Lake Sisters that have children and you haven't decided that you want to send them, it's really going to be a nice event. We start off on Thursday, and it is important to note that my AirLink home base is going to be in this hotel. So we're still kind of determining logistics, whether or not I'll meet them over at the JW, if that's more convenient and walking over here, but we'll have a ballroom about this size. We'll have a ballroom about this size, and inside that ballroom, we'll have some video machines, some basketball machines, some indie driving things, so there'll be games and all kinds of things, and that'll be our home base. So if there is inclement weather and we have to return early, your kids will have something to do. We'll have movies and snacks and things, and it should be about a size of a room size. But we would love to have more kids participate in the program, and from what I understand, we might be looking at doing something for cluster children, so that if you want to just come down for Saturday, your child will be able to participate for one day as opposed to if you're not staying down here. So we'll have more information on that, but we'd love to have as many kids as we can. And I'm looking forward to it. So if you have any questions or any concerns or comments, please don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you.
Yesterday I made a call to my big sister, and I said, can I call your husband? I need something from him. She said, oh, he's sitting right next to me. I said, oh, Robert, you have this technology company. I want to talk with you about maybe doing a cafe, but we're going to be working with Sprint. I need to see what Sprint and AT&T are doing. So he says, join in whatever you want, I'll try to help you in any way that I can. And so I'm very pleased to introduce Lynn Sharon Robertson-Reed, who is one of the co-chairs for the Connecting Links.
Lynn Jarnell. When the phone rang yesterday, I wasn't near my cell phone, but then afterwards I took a look. I was like, someone just called me, and I saw it was Jarnell, and I told Robert, I said, uh-oh. I'm in trouble. But no, she wanted to talk to him, but he will definitely do what he can, as always, to help out. So in regards to the program for the Connecting Links, we are pretty much set. Everything is in place. I am actually finalizing the details for the event. So in the next couple of weeks, I'm meeting with some of the venue contacts just to finalize details. And we'll be putting together in place some type of number of volunteers that Sally and I will need, excuse me, to make everything smooth. So, thank you.
And I did get the good news from one of the Boulay wives that we wrote a letter, asked them for a few dollars. They voted it out last night, so we do have that commitment from the Boulay here in Indianapolis that they will help support the Connecting Links hospitality suite, and that suite we plan to turn into a man cave. So let me see, who else do we have? I'm just looking at those projects that we were designated to take care of, and I think those are our commitments or responsibilities. But I do want to say to each of the members of the cluster that we do have a dinner, that we will be hosting a dinner for the president and her invited guests on Tuesday, June the 26th. It will be at 7 to 9 at the Indiana Ballroom. And Tabana is not here. I've asked her to oversee that. I also had asked, and I don't want to put it on the spot, Lynn Katasha, we're going to be doing something special in the Club Link. Did you have anything that you wanted to say about that, Lynn Katasha? Don't have to now. We're still working on it.
We will have some fun things going on.
Thank you so
Make
much.
sure it gets on my run of show, so I'll be there.
Okay. So, also, I was asked to help Link Laverne do consider some centerpieces for the different events that we're having. We're having the Civic Luncheon, the Legacy Luncheon, the Program Luncheon, and then the White Rose. So Link Laverne, you want to come up and talk about what we are suggesting that we have?
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's great being in Indy. Our theme is black tie and brown bag, meaning we got to spend the money very, very judiciously. So Jarnell, who is a magician, just can pull all kinds of things out of a hat. So I got in Thursday, and we went to the floors, which is the one we cannot afford. They sent us to the wholesale, which we can afford. We told them we had no more than $25 to spend on centerpieces. So they sent us some samples this morning that we wanted our Madam President to take a look at. And we have 3 different arrangements that we can choose from for our civic luncheon. One is just hydrangeas with some greenery. The other is hydrangeas and roses, and one is a mixed group. These are from the wholesale. We can, jazz them up, jazz them down, but I think it's a good representation of what we can choose from. They will be tight enough that we can use them for 2 days, and we can repurpose them a little bit. For the legacy luncheon, we decided, Jarnell showed us a picture of a dress that she had seen at another event, and we just went crazy about it. So we got in town, we went to fabric stores, Larnell helped us, and then Alpha. We tried to reach you, we finally got you, and we are suggesting this for our legacy luncheon. It's an elegant dress, and it would be different fabrics at all the tables. We can do
pearls around the neck, different kinds of things, but we just thought that that would be a beautiful representation. We'll get a ribbon that's printed that has our logo on it and the 41st Assembly, and we will sell those so that we get all of our money back. So hostesses, we need everybody in charge of 2 or 3 tables, because we know someone would accidentally walk out with one, but we will see what our cost is, and we'll make sure we get our money back and a little for the organization. But I think that would be a nice commemorative piece that people would want. So we'll try to keep the boxes if we can, so that people, and we will take the money on the way out. But our next task is to look at the florals for the sessions, the big pieces that'll be on the ends. And so that's what we're charged with, to make it look elegant, to make it link-like, but to also stay within a budget. And we will do that. Any feedback you want to give us today is the day to do it. We think we're in the range of what you want and what represents us, but we are open to suggestions. And any seamstresses, if we do go with this, we're going to need about 250, maybe 300 of these. Now, they tell me that it's a simple process and it's only a couple of pins and tucks. So we're going to have a committee, and we will provide fabric and all of that. But I think it's a good idea, and it will make the room look elegant. So thank you so much. And this lady is just a pleasure to work with.
I also have been meeting on a weekly, every Monday at 11. I have a telephone call with the program chair. So Lynn Joyce, you want to come up and share what we're going to be doing in the marketplace, the health stage?
Oh.
Good morning, Link Sisters. For the marketplace, we have some interesting interactive programming that will be going on. When the marketplace first opens on Wednesday, after the ribbon cutting ceremony, we're inviting all to come. We will have a nutrition presentation, and there will be sample giveaways. In addition, we will have a DJ, and there will be exercises. We will also have some clinicians there to do blood pressure and other type of on-site testing. And then on Friday afternoon, between 3:30 and 4:30, we will have a diabetes presentation. And again, we will also have a person there to demonstrate how you can really be active, whether you're seated, whether you're standing at work. We're also going to address the implications that are involved if you're taking, long flights or trips. But the whole idea is to let you know that you can take control of being healthy in different situations. It doesn't require you're having to get up and say, I'm going to the gym. We want you to do that, but we want you to also know that you have command over what you can do with your body in a fun way. And there will be information, materials provided to be handed out. And the reason why we are really holding this health pavilion is because we're not only supporting our president's thing, but more importantly, we know that a healthy lifestyle is something that we have to embrace daily. We have a plethora of workshops that are throughout the day during Friday, which is programming day. So we wanted to make sure that we only had you in the pavilion during the periods when you would not have to be competing with other workshops. Okay? And we look forward to you coming. The foot traffic is important, so make sure you direct everybody in the direction. Thank you.
I also want to remind you that Dr. Jerome Adams is also supposed to be there on Friday. He will be the keynote speaker for the program luncheon. He Dr. Jerome Adams is now the new Surgeon General for the United States, and so I've asked him if he could consider also staying a little bit longer, that he can also participate in the health stage. So his wife is ill, so he's looking at that situation to see if he can stay any longer. I believe those are the committees that I have worked with, and I'll let you call those.
Okay, I want to start by introducing the other members of the National Committee who are here and the committee chairs. Thoughts were we could then break for lunch, have a working lunch, and then have breakouts and hear from everyone as we wrap. So sitting here, we have Ida Rose Weiss and Lynn Smith, chair of invited guests and corporate sponsors respectively. Thank you. We also have, could you stand up? Okay.
I can't let Joyce off the hook. She knows I'm depending on her. Come up, Joyce, and give us a report on the sponsorships that we're dealing with.
Okay. Well, while she's coming up, I'm also going to introduce Chair of Registration, Lane Deidre Jr. And Joy Sheffield, Chair of Marketplace, step out? She did, okay. And then we have Michelle Thomas, who's co-chair of Logistics. Thank you. Exactly. And then also with us, we have our Chair of Elections, Alice Strong Simmons.
So not a lot to report out today. We've got proposals out. We've got one more rather $20,000 range proposal that will get out in the next couple of days. And then the committee has decided that we'll be writing letters to organizations and individuals in the $3,000 to $5,000 range. So we're hoping that if we can get a yes for at least 10 of those, that it can net us another major gift. So I think things are going well. And then you didn't mention, we did get the final okay for the IPL. It's going to light the IPL, which sits, Indianapolis Power and Light sits on the circle, and so they're going to light their building green on the circle at the same time that the canal is going to be green too, to represent the things being in town. So we got that okay.
I just want to add one thing, and I did not introduce Sally Mills. She's the co-chair for the Connecting Links. And what Sally did was this. Sally said to one of the members in our chapter, "You need to ask my husband for some money." He has more than he'll ever be able to speak. So we're going to ask him for some money. I'm not going to break it, but we're going to see. Thank you, Sally.
All right, and then you've met Jasmine, and we also have Daryl Diamond here from National Headquarters Planning Staff, and they have been working tirelessly with us, so let's give them a hand. When we go into our breakout sessions, and when we worked this morning, we were really working on, day by day, what's going on, what's outstanding, at what time does XYZ activities start, what do you need to execute? And so that is what I ask us to continue to work on today in our breakout sessions, as well as any help that you need, let us know and we need to report out. And we're also really working on communications, making sure, as Madam President touched upon it earlier, making sure that we get out to our members, letting them know, getting them excited, making sure they understand that they want to be here. And so over the course of the next 8 to 9 weeks, we're going to really help drive that messaging. So if out of your committee, you have things that are important, right, pertinent facts that you want to get out to the membership, give them please to your committee chair, and then we will pull them all together, prioritize them, and start to make sure that we get the e-blast, get the updates on social media, and just get the word out to our membership so that they know they want to be here. And it's, understand all that's going on so that it's not lost and forgotten. And so we will have lunch now. It's being served right out there. It's a working lunch. And then we will reconvene. It's 11:36. We can reconvene by 12:30. Thank you. Does that sound like a plan? Okay, perfect. Thank you. We do that. Our national president is just trying to, you want to come up and say? No, I'm coming. Oh, you're coming back? Okay, before you leave, because you're going to be heading out in like 5-7 minutes.
Ladies, I just want to thank you for all that you're doing. And I realize that as it gets closer and closer to the date, that you'll have a lot of questions. I want to be sure that you know who to reach out to for questions. So you have right here in Indianapolis, you have Jarnell and you have Jenny to reach out to. But you've made relationships with many of our other committee members, like Michelle and VIP escort team and registration team and all the different ones. And so if you have any questions, just reach out to them. We want to be able to answer all your questions in advance. The more questions we can answer in advance, the more we can anticipate. And there may be some things that you have worked on a conference before and you did something for a conference before and you're wondering if this is something that we're going to do. One of the things that has not been mentioned that I think is on the planning is our medical team. I don't know if that's on the registration. I have to ask Daryl and Jasmine, but we had a medical team last year of individuals that volunteered and signed up to be part of the medical team. We did take nurse practitioners and probably physician assistants as well as medical doctors. And we did ask them for a copy of their license. They will not be practicing any medicine here because most of us don't have licenses to practice in the state of Indiana. If there are those that are local, that's fine. But primarily the reason for that is so that they can triage. They can be a part of the team that goes when someone, because I have been known to leave the podium in the middle of stuff and go right down to a medical issue, and I was reminded when I became president that I needed somebody else to do that. And so I want to make sure that there is somebody to do that. And I'm also going to be asking Jarnell and Jenny, and I'm sure they'll be able to meet this requirement as well, to provide us with some local facilities where our members can go. If they have some type of a medical challenge, if they forget their medication, many of them can go ahead and call Walgreens and CVS, because if you're in one Walgreens, CVS, you can go all over. But they will have dental challenges and they will have medical challenges. And it's great to be able to have a list of 3 or 4 places that they can go. So we're going to be reaching out to the Icon Cluster to give us the name of some urgent care facilities and some dental. And some of you are husbands or are dentists, or they're willing to take some of our patients, and they got to have some money to pay. We're not asking for free services, but to be able to handle those emergencies. So that's one other thing we've not really talked about. But if there is a question of something that you're not sure of, just please reach out, ask Sonia, ask Marcia Elam, because we want to anticipate every single need that you have and every need that our members have, so that we can make this a wonderful, fabulous, smooth, fun, and exciting 41st Assembly. So on behalf of our entire Executive Council team, I want to thank you in advance, and I look forward to seeing you in just a few more weeks.
Okay, now we're going to call upon the respective committee chairs or team leads to provide us just with a brief update and let us know if there's anything that we need, any questions that need to be answered or information that we need to go out and develop for you. So we'll start with Ms. Deidre, Chair of Registration.
Greetings, big sisters. So the registration hours have been confirmed. I'll run through those very quickly for you, but they will also be typed up and distributed once we get all the details finalized for registration. But registration will open on Tuesday from 1 to 7, on Wednesday 8 to 4, on Thursday 7 to 6, I think it is, and on Friday 8 a.m. to 12.
The latest update is that we're looking into doing a step and repeat by the registration area so that people can take pictures while they're registering. Platinum will have their own separate area for registration. Speakers, corporate sponsors, VIPs will have a separate area for registration. The shirt that the registration team will wear is this shirt here. Registration volunteers will buy their own shirts. I'll get the information on how to purchase them and get their sizing. I'll work with Jarnell on that. The registration bags have been ordered. They will be stuffed on Friday. I think Jarnell is working with National on that, and we'll coordinate the schedule for that. And I think that is it. Are there any questions? Great, thank you. So, one quick question, Deidre, the step and repeat. Are you gonna put that on your, signage, on your list of needs that we'll give over to, Jasmine?
Yes.
You wanna do it that way?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, thank you. All right, next, Link Ida, and then Link Lynn.
Good afternoon, Link Sisters. I'm Ida Rose Mize. I'm the chair of Invited Guests. And we discussed this morning committee responsibilities. We work in tandem with corporate sponsors. So we delineated what it means to be a VIP versus corporate sponsor versus invited guest, and then what those levels of escorting would look like. Then we also talked about our schedule, how we're gonna, on our committee call, start really combing through the schedule at a glance and seeing when our responsibilities are, and then be able to start plugging in our Link volunteers as escorts. We really are looking forward to when we look at the travel arrangements. That's when we can start doing most of our work with trying to assign people. We have designated Link Sister to come up with Excel spreadsheets, who's going to start mapping out who those members are that are escorting the VIPs. And that's about it for us. So a lot of our work is continuing. A lot of our work occurs closer to the conference when we get more information.
Good afternoon, Link Sisters. My name is Lynn Smith, and I'm a member of the Archway chapter in St. Louis, Missouri. And as Link Ida indicated, we work closely together. I basically cover the corporate sponsor aspect of the committee. And basically this week I will be following up with Jasmine just to make sure we have the most current information on who our corporate sponsors are, and just have a better understanding of what we have committed ourselves to in terms of the different sponsorship levels. Are there any questions? Thank you so very much.
Do we have anything from the Connecting Links? The Aerolinks chair needs to leave, but Connecting Links?
No, we really don't have much.
Please take
Sorry. We really do not have very much. We actually just probably need to get our numbers to kind of, that will help solidify the events that we actually have, because I've looked for certain numbers.
Oh, okay.
So I understand that Monday is the close of the registration.
Okay.
And then it moves to another, another level. So once we receive those numbers, we will be able to kind of solidify the programs a little bit more.
So that's the 23rd, what day is the registration about? 23rd, which is Monday. Okay, so, Marcia, can you make the commitments to get Daryl on the table? Okay, and we'll get those numbers to you. Well, actually, wait, Tuesday.
Yeah, we said we would speak on Wednesday.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so you'll have your numbers. What,
Yes.
do you have minimums? Minimum, like in order for XYZ event to happen golfing, do you need to have a certain number of connecting links registered and signed up?
I did a max for the golf. They gave me a maximum number. I do not have a minimum.
Okay, great.
So if it doesn't go over 6 foursomes, we're good. We should
Okay,
be
all
good.
right, so 24?
Correct. And then for the Brickyard Kiss the Bricks, which is where they do the tour of IMS, the Motor Speedway. No, I said we would have approximately 50. So
Okay, good.
if we're within that range, we're still good.
Okay, so there's nothing, whereas if we don't have 10, 50, we can't have perfect.
You know, and I think too, in working with Lynn Charlene here for the Indianapolis Museum of Art, I think we would probably be fine if we don't have the 50, the larger number that I anticipated that we would have. And Charlene has been working with me on that.
Thank you much. Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, Lynn Joyce, is there anything else that you need to report out from community service project?
No, I think we
I have
oh, you want to give your short report?
Good afternoon. So I can report out really quick. So you know the location is Riverside Park. We want the volunteers present around 8 o'clock in the morning. And there will be people shown over about 7:45. Okay, that'll be the time. The event is from 10 to 2. The band will be there from 9 to 3. And we will break down around 2 o'clock. Colgate will screen 3 to 12-year-olds, and they'll have 2 kids present, and about 100 kids they can do per hour. So that's 2 dances. That's what you reported out. Also anticipate about 500 community children there. That'll serve also from camps in the area. And then we are looking for 100 Black area men to volunteer, and we will need at least no less than 20 volunteers to work, and that can be for at least 20 per 2-hour segments. There will be some of us that will be there all day to help out. And then, of course, that shift, that the 20 will be there, it's like 2 hours, like I just said. We will have giveaways, which include cribs, car seats. Also, the dental packets will be distributed to the families. And then we're trying to also give water and snacks during that time. Okay. Any questions?
Yes, when you said 7:45 volunteers, were you referring to members or volunteers setting?
Members.
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 Just clarification, Colgate's
sorry.
giveaways are only to the children.
Children's
stream. They don't go to.
When I said family, I meant that moms will get it. That's what family. Yeah.
No,
It's just for the kids, right?
It's to the children.
Okay.
The children are being transported from various camps.
Yes.
So they
Thank you.
will not be accompanied by their parents. However, those parents who may come to the prenatal clinic, if they have a request to be screened and their children are within the age range, we will accommodate them with the sign.
Thank you so much for the clarification. I appreciate it. Any
And
other questions?
the members that are due at 7:45 are members of the Indiana Iconic Cluster, not the
Right.
Executive Council.
Right, that's
going
right.
to come in at a different time.
What is it, with chapter presidents and other chapter members, they
Yes.
will be directed to prepare by 7:45? Okay, so that would be, I think that's what Jim said.
We're going to revisit that time. That's new to me. I'll talk with the Community Service Project. We need to look at that time.
Okay, so you guys, so I want to know.
Yeah, we're going to revisit the time that they're needing to be there.
Oh,
But we do plan to do some setting up the night before, so it may not be necessary for you to come as early as 7:45.
Thank you.
Okay, and Darnell, one
Yeah.
thing that we, Lee Darnell, that we may have to revisit, I just learned today of the inclusion of the 100 Black men in the youth that they're bringing. So I don't know how that impacts what we have to do for security. Are we able to use them as a part of security, or do we have to go through the insurance to have other security there?
We are hiring security. That was part of the requirements of the park. So we're hiring security, and we're also hiring a cleanup crew.
So the 100 Black Men will just be there to.
Yeah, they will be a vendor there, and they have a camp, and they will be bringing your kids from their camp there.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
They don't have to do the security there.
Any other concerns as it relates to the community service project?
Thank you much. Laverne, anything else to report out?
No, just that the dressmaking committee is excited. And they are taking any volunteers to do the dress draping. Did you volunteer? Oh, see? No, we're working with the vendors here, and we think that they'll be able to fulfill all the needs that we have for centerpieces, luncheons, and all those kinds of things.
And to the cluster members, I did volunteer that we will be stuffing the bags, and that stuffing will take place on Friday here down at the Marriott, and I will get that information out to you.
All right, Lake Marcia, anything to report out? Is there any other member that has anything to report out or any questions? Yes, Lynn Michelle. Thank you, logistics, yeah, please.
Good afternoon, my late sisters. My name is Michelle Thomas, and I'm in the Big Cities, Texas chapter right outside of Dallas. I am the co-chair of the Logistics Committee, and quickly, I will just kind of briefly share with you where we are to date. So overall, the Logistics Committee is kind of at a pause because we're really waiting on the runner show. And we expect to have that by, the draft of it by May the 4th. But we are having committee meetings on a regular basis. I think our most urgent need is that we actually had 14 volunteers sign up from within, I guess, the cluster. But when we sent out the, what's it called?
Call the conference.
No, not the August conference. It's,
Our sign up.
Volunteer sign-up
the
sheet.
specific volunteer sign-up sheet, we only had 6. And so the 6 are going to be responsible for maybe signing up for 3 different events. And so that's not nearly enough. And so when we thought we had 14, we went back and asked them to join up for another 10 because we know that everyone's a volunteer. And volunteers want to somewhat enjoy the conference. And so thank you and Danielle for helping us. But the reality of it is we probably need to really push those 14 that signed up so that we really have 14 and really not 6.
So you really need 10 to 15 more volunteers?
Yes.
So we should all bring names to you? Okay. Okay, fine, got it. Okay.
Yeah, and Lynn Jordan says we're getting them more, so thank you. So the other thing I just kind of wanted to lift up is that in terms of what the Logistics Committee is responsible for, opening night, each of the plenary sessions, the luncheon, memorial service, White Rose banquet, the benefit concert, and the mayor's town hall. What the Logistics Committee is not responsible for handling, which I think is the obvious, but I think it's all good to be clear and concise. The community service project, registration, chapter delegate meeting, marketplace, doorkeeper, timekeeping, medical support, technology meeting, connecting links hospitality, get fit and healthy, continental breakfast, marketplace, including the airlines. We will be working closely with the workshops committee. And so the question really is, we know that each person will be responsible for bringing their own supplemental materials for the workshop because LC is not responsible for transporting those type of materials, but we are responsible for making sure that the AV requirements and the room is set up and ready to go. So we have a whole bunch of other stuff on here. but I don't want to belabor you with that, but let me know if you have any questions, or I'm happy to entertain anything now. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and so when we look at what we set out to do, not only today, but throughout the course of the past 18 months, it's a long haul, but I don't know about you, but I can certainly see what every day looks like. We can basically see where we have gaps that we need to close, and it's okay to have gaps, we should. And the fact that we're identifying them now is perfect, right? That's what we want. Just to put it in perspective, memorial service, really quick calendar, and I think you all know, memorials, community service project Tuesday, the canal Tuesday, dinner Tuesday, thank you, and then Wednesday, memorial service, and then the opening for the assembly, and then Thursday we have the plenary all day, and then we have the mayor's town hall Thursday evening. Friday, again, plenary, and then Friday evening, we have the benefit concert, right? Friday's private program lunch, Thursday is civic luncheon, and then Friday evening, we have the benefit concert, and then Saturday, we have the plenary, which goes until 12 o'clock, and then Saturday evening, of course, is the White Rose banquet. Easy, simple, right? There's just a lot of details to get all of that together. And so what we're working on now over the course of the next 70 plus days is just tying down all of the details aligned with each event. So when you heard Michelle say run of show, we started this last assembly. We get the run of shows together so that we have each and every detail down to when the music plays, right? Just so that we can stay timely and so that our members' experience is truly beneficial. So with that being said, our committee calls, we've had weekly calls with headquarters, and we will continue. As of May, our committee will start meeting weekly. My ask is that you check in with your committee chair, because you should be meeting at a minimum every 2 weeks. If you're not, please reach out to myself or Marcia Elam, and we can figure out, make sure that you have the right schedule and so forth, because it's imperative that we all have the lines of communication open. I think that's the way that we get to closure on everything that's outstanding. Like I said, this is our last town hall. This headquarters staff will descend upon Indianapolis, I think Tuesday or Wednesday before the assembly, Wednesday prior to the week before the assembly opens. And then most of the committee members will get to town between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. With our national president, I think, getting in on Saturday. And so you have my email, you have Marcia's, you have Jasmine from staff. If you need anything, reach out to myself or Marcia. We'll go to Jasmine, or you have the other committee chair's information. But I think now it's just encourage folks to get registered. The deadline is approaching. And let's be prepared to come here and really see the best of what our organization has to offer. Anything in closing? Sure.
We have 2 centerpieces, and one we're going to give it to Alpha for all of her hard work at the last minute. I think I call it Alpha 7 and Darnell. I'm sorry?
I think it's called a bride.
You got it right. You got that right. It's a bride. And then we're going how many centerpieces do we have? 3.
2 are gone, there's 1 more.
So let us give it to the other 2 presidents that traveled here today. They're from out of the city, Fort Wayne and one. Fort Wayne arrived first, so we'll give it to her. Okay, thank you very much.
Is that all that we're sticking with, or are we going to open it up a little bit more? Because I called to make a reservation, and I'm finding certain times the hotels are not, they don't have rooms available.
Okay, so Marriott, we have, at this point, we've closed that registration for the hotel block at JW Marriott because we now need to ensure that we meet our contractual obligation with this property, which, by the way, is absolutely beautiful. So we are now directing, right, Daryl? We're directing folks to Marriott, to this property. Once we meet our contractual obligations here, right, the number of room nights that we have committed and contractually, then we can look at reopening. But for now, we're directing folks to Marriott. So if you had a problem looking at Marriott, please let us know right away. If it's JW, I believe it was just recently closed within the past couple of days. Does that answer your question? It was the JW.
Can I just
Yes, Daryl.
elaborate on that? I'm sorry. If you try to book on the JW right now, you may be able to book certain days, but not your whole stay if you call the office, and that's because some days are just filled up. As Sonia was talking about, to make sure we meet our obligation, we would like, if you haven't made a reservation, to make a reservation here. It is brand new, just reopened in April, and they're still not even done. They're going to finish the last of the lobby renovations next week, 2 weeks, they said. So by the time we get here, spanking new, it's beautiful rooms. If you've not stayed here, I stayed here for the first time last night, and it was gorgeous. I was very, very impressed. You will not be disappointed, and it is literally 1 block away from the JW, and it's, don't tell anybody that's already got a reservation at the JW. It's a shorter walk to the convention center. It's a shorter skywalk. So there you go.
I just want to remind you, I need for you to make sure that you follow the newsletters as we send them out to you, that we will start meeting by telephone call, conference call, starting the first Tuesday in May. And you have your national leads that are sending information to those that have signed up for their committees. And they do expect for you to be on those conference calls also, because you can be up to date in regards to what their level of expectations are. So watch your emails and make sure that you are on the calls as necessary to keep you informed of what is going on in regards to making sure that we have a confidence of what we wanted it to be. I thank you so much for coming. I look forward to June the 27th, but I'm going to look even more, I will appreciate more July 1.